Alright everybody, I got a bunch of clocks here, and I wonder why they're all here. Well, daylight savings is coming to an end, so we're going to turn the clocks back an hour. So, I'm going to get you guys set up on the tripod, and we're going to begin turning all these clocks back an hour. So, let's go. This is the first clock that I got for my collection. It's what started it all. So we're going to start off this video with the Bulova, and we're going to turn it back an hour. So, we're going to flip over the clock. Now this one's a little more tricky to do because we have to actually go into the back of the clock. So we'll pull out this door right here, and just to make sure we don't damage this clock, we are going to pull out the pendulum. So we just push it back, slide down, and pull it out. So right here you guys can see this is a quartz movement. This has the two batteries right here for the chimes, and then the AA is for the movement. These are C batteries, these are not D batteries, but as you can see right here, you got the speaker right here. That's a speaker for the chimes, and then you got your battery, and you got where the pendulum connects right here. And you got your reset and set buttons right there. And this controls the volume. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the hands forward. Now we have to turn them forward twice because this clock is set on nighttime mode. So this thing does not chime after 11 o'clock, and it won't chime until 6 a.m. in the morning. So we're gonna turn this forward. So I'm going to use the dial on the back, which is right here. So I'm going to do that, and I'll let you guys see it. So here we go. Notice you can hear it clicking. Every time it clicks, that's when it does the hour strike. But because it's on nighttime mode, it's not going to make any sound. Listen. So we're going to keep going forward. And now it's going to start chiming. Now we're going to skip through the chimes. This doesn't damage the clock at all, but we are going to skip through. Now the reason we have to turn it again is because in the morning at 11 o'clock, the clock will chime, but we don't want it to chime at night. And this is now the PM range. And there we have it. So we set it to 10:55 because it's currently 11:55 at night. So we'll let that go. Put our pendulum back on. And this thing will shut off once it goes to 11. So there you guys have it. That's the Bulova. We just turned that back. I'm going to go put this back up on the wall so it's set to go. And then we are going to start with the rest of the clocks. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, next up, we're going to turn the Hershey back an hour. Now, before we actually turn the hands back on this thing, we're going to have to set the minute hand a little past the 45-minute mark so it does the 45-minute chime, and you'll see why in a second. So we'll open up the door. We'll do our 15-minute chime. Okay, at this point we can turn the clock back now. So right now the current time is 12:02. So what we're going to do is set it to 11:02. Wait for it to click. Now we're going to go up and do the 11 o'clock chime. And there you have it. So that's the 11 o'clock thing. And the reason why I do that is so I can correct the time right away, because if I just turned it back and set it there, the chimes would get off track. Now the clock would fix itself because the hour strike will not occur on this clock and the rest of the clocks I have here unless the minute hand is on the 12-minute mark. Or I'm sorry, the 60-minute mark. The minute hand, and the clock knows exactly where the hands are. If the clock, let's say for example, if it did the 45-minute chime on the 15-minute mark, it would not do the hour strike one on the 30 or the 45. It would only do it when it gets up to the hour mark. So just a little quick side info for you guys. Let's move on to the next clock. All right, this is the rare Howard Miller Mantle clock, and we're going to turn this one back. Now this one actually did stop when I moved it because this clock can be a little touchy sometimes. Just moving it a little bit can make the pendulum stop. So it is past the 45-minute mark, so all we have to do is turn it back past the hour mark, and then we'll do the 11 o'clock chime, and then we'll put it on 11:10, because that will be the time that we're setting it to. So let's move the hands back. All right, now we'll set it to 11:11. All right, and there we go. That's all set now. It's actually 12:11 right now. I'm actually recording this a little past midnight, so daylight savings hasn't technically ended yet, but I'm doing this before I go to bed, so the clocks are ready for the next day. All right, we got another Howard Miller clock, so let's go over to that. All right, this is my other Howard Miller Mantle clock, and for this time, we are not going to move the hands up to the 45-minute mark. We're just going to turn it back and set it to the correct time, and then this clock will correct itself on its own. So we're going to open up the door, and we'll move it back. So right now, the current time is 12:19, so we're going to set it to 11:19. All right, and that's all set. Now in this case, this clock is actually going to be just fine because the next chime it's going to do is the 30-minute chime. So there's no point to even actually put the hands up to the 30 and 45-minute mark and turn it back. So this clock is all set and ready to go. This clock right here is just a simple quartz movement. So we'll just go behind the clock and we will turn the hands back an hour. All right, so this one's all set now. So this one's set to 11:13. So we're all set for this one. So I have yet to make a video on this clock, but this is a bird melody clock, and this one makes bird sounds depending on what hour it is. So for example, if it's 12 o'clock, this clock will make an owl sound. So what we're gonna do for this one we have to turn forward, otherwise the bird melody will be incorrect. There is a correction button on the back here, but rather than just doing that, we'll just go through all the bird sound effects. So we're gonna turn this up to 11:21, because that's what the time would be right now. So here we go. This is a really nice clock, and I got this for a nice price from an estate sale. But stay tuned, guys. I will do a full video on this at some point. So let's go on to the next clock. All right, so for this one, all we have to do is just turn it back an hour, and then it will be set. So I'll open up the door. Oh, look at that. I'll have to wind this one again. It looks like it ran out of power for the strike. So let's move it back an hour. Notice the click. Listen. Yep, there's the click. And then it's about, let's see, let me look at my watch. It's about 11:32. Alright, so that one's all set. So all I have to do is just close the door. And now this one's all set, and I'll wind this one off camera. Same thing for this wall clock, guys. We're just going to open the door and turn it back an hour. And I saw that coming. Let's get that fixed. Alright, and now that one's set. And finally, the grandfather clock, and we'll turn this one back an hour, but we're actually not going to turn it back. We're going to turn it forward because this dial right here moves a little bit at about 11:32, and I always like to have that do that at night in the evening. So we're going to turn this ahead about 23 hours. So first we're going to do the 45-minute chime, and then I'm going to let you guys see something cool. Alright, now we're going to turn it ahead. So we got to turn it ahead twice, pretty much. So here we go. Alright, now we'll do a 30-minute chime. And it's going to be 11:38. Now watch this. See how that moves? It moves at about 34, 33. So we'll then put this to 38, 39-ish. And because it is after midnight, technically, we're going to silence the clock. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me turning back my clocks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.